How's it going, folks? My name is Magnetrex, and I welcome you to the BoobTube. Ah, Halo, what a sweet franchise that you have become after all these years. This stylized first-person shooter developed by Bungie went on to break record sales, selling millions of copies all across the globe, received numerous Game of the Year awards, and proclaimed by GamerSpy as one of the most top 25 overrated games of all time. And when an industry like that tells you that your game is that over the top, then you know you're doing something right. But with that success must also come spin-offs. Or in this case, a couple of drunk buddies who play one too many video games until one of them says to the other,
"Hey, we could use this to make movies." Yeah, we could totally use this to make movies.
And after a year or so of editing, you get a series like Red vs. Blue. Created by Rooster Teeth, this series is based loosely on the Halo universe, which is about two teams fighting each other on opposite ends of everyone's favorite multiplayer map, Blood Gulch. Initially intended to be a short series of 6 to 8 episodes, the project quickly and unexpectedly achieved significant popularity within its internet premiere on April 1st, 2003. It's funny how you start off with something that is small and simple, only to discover that it becomes something bigger and greater to millions of fans. I mean, who wouldn't want something like that when they're just starting out? Am I right? Well, luckily for us, I just so happen to have the first season of Red vs. Blue, so let's check it out and see if it still holds up after 12 years. So the show opens up to a pretty decent rock intro, followed by their lead singer sounding pretty distorted. Like you gotta throw on some headphones in order to hear what he is saying. Ah. The sound later corrects itself after a few seconds, which I highly recommend taking off your headphones before it blows out your eardrums. After a photoshopped image of Blood Gulch along with its opening titles for the show, we get our opening camera shot on our first two characters from Red Team's Griff, the lazy slacker, and Simmons, the biggest kiss-ass of them all. And their opening line is a memorable one.
Hey, yeah? You ever wonder why we're here? It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here? I mean, are we the product of some cosmic coincidence, or is there really a God watching everything, you know, with a plan for us and stuff? I don't know, man, but it keeps me up at night.
Deep, man. Really deep. Or maybe it's because it's your job as soldiers to take out the enemy. I mean, you don't hear this kind of bitching from soldiers like from the Stormtroopers, or the Red Shirts, or even the U.S. military. Oh, you know what? Never mind. Moving on. So as the Reds are discussing things from why they are here to military strategies in box canyons, we get two other characters spying on them from afar. One of them is their self-proclaimed ladies' man Tucker, and the other is Church, their de facto leader from Blue Team's Blood Gulch outpost, Alpha. And instead of just picking off their opposition right then and there, they decide to stick around and find out what the Reds are doing.
They're just standing there and talking, okay? That's all they're doing. That's all they ever do, is just stand there and talk. That's what they were doing last week. That's what they were doing when you asked me 5 minutes ago. So 5 minutes from now, when you ask me, what are they doing, my answer is going to be, they're still just talking, and they're still just standing there.
And they will continue to do this for a majority of the time for the next 12 years. Anyway, Griff and Simmons are called upon by their sergeant, whose name is, well, Sarge, the leader of Red Team's Blood Gulch Outpost number 1, and the most purposely stereotypical sergeant from every famous sci-fi film out there. He informs his team that they will be getting a new recruit within the week and shows them their new vehicle, which is the Warthog. A military jeep with a mounted Gatling gun on the back and has the ability to be launched anywhere across the map provided you shoot your rocket launcher on the right spot. This of course makes the Blues feel a little uneasy, so they head straight back to their base to report it in. Meanwhile, back at Red Base, Griff and Sammons get to meet their new recruit, Private Donut. You know what? I don't know what he is. So for now, I'm just gonna call him the new guy. And speaking of new guys...
So I say to the guy, how are you going to get the tank down to the planet? And he goes, I'll just put it on the ship. And I go, if you've got a ship that can carry a tank, why not just put guns on the ship and use it instead?
Hey kid.
Yeah?
You're ruining the moment. Shut up.
Oh. Okay. You got it, man.
Michael J. Caboose, everyone. I have a feeling that he's going to go pretty far within the ranks of Blue Team. So after some quick introductions, the Reds decide to give Donut his first assignment, which is going to the store to buy them 2 quarts of elbow grease and headlight fluid for their Warthog.
Elbow grease? How stupid do they think I am?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe about as dumb as this guy, I suppose.
And then he looked down, he's like, did I piss myself? And it turned out that the headlight fluid container made it into the car onto his lap.
The headlight fluid container, really?
Don't worry, Donut. You're not the only one. So while that is going on, Caboose brings up something about how much of a cow Church's girlfriend is.
Hey, Rookie. Did you just call my girlfriend a cow?
No, I think he called her a slut.
So Church decides to send Caboose inside the base and wait for the general to show up so he could inspect their flag. So in other words, they just want Caboose to get the fuck away from them. But it doesn't take very long for a case of mistaken identity to pop up, as Donut thinks that the blue base is the general store and Caboose believing that Donut is the general himself. Not wanting to leave the place empty-handed, Donut decides to ask Caboose for their flag as he humbly replied,
Sure. That makes sense. I guess.
Sure enough, this gets the attention of Church and Tucker as one of them tries to take out the red rookie with the sniper rifle.
Hey, say goodnight, Sarge.
Son of a bitch!
Wow, Church, you just made every other noob gamer out there feel a little bit better about themselves. So after a few failed shots, they decide to go for plan B and hop into the teleporter. However, Tucker becomes a little hesitant to step through there, but leave it to Church to go full-on douchebag and forces him to go through. Your fearless blue leader, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't do what he says, he'll put a fucking gun to your face. After not coming out the other end, Church decides to go for plan C and just run over there. It doesn't take long for both Blues to intercept Donut, only for them to be ambushed by the Reds in their Warthog. A double ambush! So Tucker and Church hightail it to higher ground behind a rock, only to figure out that the Gatling gun never runs out of ammo. Meanwhile, Caboose decides to do the only logical thing in this situation and take the tank out to even the odds. And after some quick tutorial driving, he decides to lay down some heavy firepower on the Reds, but only to blast up their Warthog. Yeah, Caboose, fuck them all up.
Good job, man! Why didn't you tell us you knew how to drive the tank?
New target acquired.
That's not a target. That's Church.
Yeah, that's right! It's me! Church! What's going on, man?
You might want to get behind that rock again, Church.
Unlock! Please help me, nice lady!
Firing main cannon.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What? Oh, son of a...
Or not.
You shot Church, you team-killing fucktard?
To be fair, he was kind of a dick. So Church dies and Caboose continues his assault on the Reds by giving them back their Warthog and laying down some suppressive fire on their base. But faster than you can say, we're all gonna die, Sarge decides to stock footage his way back in and swoop in to save the day with the Red Army aircraft.
Rookie, get out now! Okay, open the door. Okay, Sheila, will you please open the door?
Hurry, Caboose! That line of what appears to be grenade explosions is heading right towards you!
Driver canopy open. Thank you for using the M808V main battle
Running!
Whew. So after being down one less leader and tank, the Blues decide to call into command to ask for reinforcements to help aid them.
I don't know what the technical military term is for it, but we're pretty fucked up down here. We need men.
Send me men! Men!
After hearing about their current situation, command decides to hire freelancer techs to aid the Blues in completing their mission. But Church comes back from the grave.
You're not Church. Church is blue. You're white.
That's racist!
He came back to warn his fellow comrades about the freelancer known as Tex. Apparently, Church was stationed at another Blue base on Sidewinder when Tex showed up, killed everyone, and beat another guy to death with his own skull.
Wait a second. How do you beat someone to death with their own skull? That doesn't seem physically possible. That's exactly what Jimmy kept screaming. This doesn't seem physically possible!
Not only that, but Tex also manages to keep the dude's helmet intact as well. But before they know it, Tex has already showed up at their base and has a really funny way of using objects as target practice. So without saying very much, Tex is pretty straightforward as a freelancer and has his objectives in mind.
Where are you going?
Red base. Kill everybody. Get the flag back.
A few minutes later, Tex swoops on in and begins to pick off the Reds one by one.
There's something on your head. What? Is it a spider? Get it off!
No, it's not a spider. It's like a blue thing.
What? Like a blue spider? Get it off!
Donut shouldn't worry too much. After all, he's got a helmet on. And I have to say, that sticky grenade sure is taking its sweet time to explode.
Well, somebody needs to get it off. Look, it might be dangerous. Son of a bitch!
Anyway, after putting a crater into Donut's head, infiltrating the Red base, and returning the flag back, Tex gets caught by Sarge and is now their prisoner. This, of course, upsets Church as he tells them why.
I never said I hated Tex. I just said that she was the reason why we never got married.
She?
She?
Oh, great. You broke my voice filter. You cock-biting fucktards.
My God! Tex is actually a tranny! Okay, maybe not, but Church tells his team that Tex underwent some sort of government program that installed an AI in her head, which makes her faster, stronger, and smarter, and better than any other soldier out there. Oh, like the Bionic Woman. No, not that one. The original one. That was better. So now Church has come up with a rescue plan to get Tex out of the base by sending Tucker and Caboose as distractions in black armor near the Red base while he sneaks in from behind. Their plan seems to be working as Church scouts from above a cliff and informs his team that their plan is slowly working.
I said, just keep moving.
I'm not yelling. I'm just telling you to let me finish talking to Church. No, I'll tell him you said hi later. No, you can't talk to him. How could you possibly talk to him on my headset?
Oh my God. I can't believe I actually died for this war.
You know, for a ghost, Church sure does have a great line of radio communication with his buddies. It's almost as if he's more of a hologram than a ghost. Spoilers! The hell was that? Alright. After taking possession of their sergeant, Church quickly dispatches Simmons and gives Tex the quick lowdown.
I'm a spirit now, and I'm trapped in the physical world. I possess this red guy so that I can sneak into the base and rescue you, while the rest of our guys run around out in the middle of the canyon, dressed in black armor that they got from going through the teleporter.
And her only reply is?
Okay.
What? That's it?
Well, what do you expect? They're space rangers fighting each other on a foreign planet. So as Church and Tex are about to escape, Caboose has other plans on his mind.
Alright, I'll make one more distraction, then you run up to the teleporter and escape. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom, headshot!
Well, ain't that a bitch. As Sarge hangs around in what I am guessing is Blood Gulch limbo, Griff makes a quick decision reviving him by smacking him with his own shotgun?
You gotta breathe, man! You gotta pull through! Come on, Sarge!
Now lie there for a few more minutes while I continue to smack you with this gun. So Sarge is back from the grave, still pissed off at Griff for giving him CPR for a bullet wound to the head. And not only did Private Donut make a full recovery, but he looks absolutely fabulous with his new armor. Also, the Reds received another package from Command, which is a speech module that will make Lopez talk. The device created a bit of a static discharge, forcing him to only speak one language.
Me llamo es Lopez.
Bueno. Just bueno. Meanwhile, back at Blue Base, Church and Tex talk things out as they say they are square and will continue to stay in Blood Gulch until they find a way to beat the Reds. Their strategy is to have Tex fix the tank and lay waste to the entire squad. As that is going on, the rest of Blue Team looks on from on top of a cliff to watch the Reds, who are still standing around and talking. This idea is starting to upset Church as he realizes that once Tex kills all the Reds, she will leave Blood Gulch without figuring out how to get the AI out of her head. This leaves Church with no other choice but to warn the Red Team. If this was such a bad idea, then why didn't they just take out the AI first, then kill the Reds second? Clearly, the Blue Team is not that thorough with their battle strategies. So of all the people to possess this time, Church decides to pick the one soldier who isn't a person. With many failed attempts at communication, Tex finally fixes the tank and begins to lay waste to the Red base. Having none of this, Sarge and Simmons begin to mount a frontal assault, which...
Alright, I'm on board. Alright, here's the plan.
Yeah, no dice. The racket does cause enough commotion for Donut to come out and dish some payback to Tex with one hell of a grenade throw.
Hey, bitch! Remember me? I saved something for ya!
Sure enough, it hits its mark, killing Tex and blowing up the tank for a second time. In her final words, Tex tells Church that the AI in her head is gone. Tucker is upset that Church has a new body, and Caboose begins to sound a little differently.
Let's get back to base. I told you, my name isn't Caboose.
My name is O'Malley.
And there you have it, folks, the end of the very first season of Red vs. Blue. And I will have to say that after 10 years, it's still not that bad. In fact, it has been generally well received within the machinima community as well as among film critics. Praised for its originality, the series has won 4 awards at film festivals held by the Academy of Machinima Arts and Sciences. It has also won the award for Best Animated Web Series from the International Academy of Web Television. It has been credited with bringing new popularity to machinima, helping it gain more mainstream exposure and attracting more people to the art form. If I were to give this first season anything from a 1 to a 5, 1 being a complete pass and 5 being the greatest thing ever, I'll give it a 3 out of 5, which is very likable. The dialogue in here is funny at times and relatable to everyday discussions that people would normally get into arguments over. The camera work in here is also pretty damn impressive, especially at the very beginning with how they pan different scenes. Some of the complaints I do have are mostly from the sound quality, because at times it seems like they speak so loudly into the microphone that it distorts it a bit. However, it was their first attempt at a show that became so successful that they went on to create bigger and better sequels. Sequels which I will get into some other time. My name is Magnetrix, and I'll see you next time on the BoobTube.